What was Draymond's reaction when you first pitched this to him?
So I didn't know him, but we had a few mutual friends, and everyone kept saying, "I think you guys will really hit it off," but you got to give it a shot, and it's not going to be in person. So maybe we get on a Zoom or a FaceTime for a little bit. And so the first reaction was I was actually on a call with the producer of the show, and he was the one that said, "I think Draymond would be really appropriate for this role, but I don't know if he had any interest. I don't know if he's aware of what you're doing." And so he actually called him while we were on the FaceTime and or while we were on the Zoom, and he said, "What do you think about this?" And Dre was really receptive, and he said, "I love football. I'm really familiar with Jordan, but we don't really know each other. Let's actually move forward and get on a call." But that wasn't necessarily like as important to me as then the first call we got on,
Yeah.
where I was starting to pitch things to him, and I would say something like, trying to think of an example, like I would be like, "Dre, you're really aggressive toward the referee sometimes, right?" Like I use these words that I think could trigger him, and I say, but the perception that I get in talking to you, and then we had this conversation subsequently in person, is in person away from that setting, you're super relaxed, and it's not the same guy we see on TV, whether you're commentating for TNT or you're playing and getting kicked out of a game. Like this is a different person. And what was really interesting to me was I wanted to know how open he would be to discuss these things. And he was super open. And his idea was, I can have these conversations with you in a way that maybe I wouldn't necessarily have on my podcast when it's just me or it's another basketball player. But you, like insider reporter, maybe you can probe a little bit. And he would say things like, "I'm really comfortable." This is him talking. "I'm really comfortable being like this villain. I don't necessarily need to be liked by everyone." And he'd give an example of maybe a player that would try to challenge him during a game and almost assume the role that he has against him. But he would tell that player throughout the game or throughout multiple games or a playoff series, "Here's why you can't do what I do." And I thought that was so cool to hear because he's Draymond is super smart and calculated. I did a podcast years back with CJ McCollum, and CJ is similar to Dre in some ways, not with the polarizing, but he's really thinking about the next step. And I think that's why he's now with the NFLPA
Yeah.
or the NBA PA. That was really important to him. And he wanted to mold the image at a young age of like, I'm gonna go beyond just the game. And I think with Draymond, he was really open in these conversations that we had early about that we could have on a show in a public forum about, obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's won 2 Olympic gold medals and, you know, 4-time All-Star Defensive Player of the Year. But way beyond that is a person that for the longest time, going all the way back to like grammar school, high school, has been willing and almost happy and eager to be the one that's the odd man out in terms of being liked. Like he's not just okay with it. I think he welcomes the criticism because he knows that if he has some kind of 50-50 split of some people who really like him, some people who don't really like him, but they want to hear what he has to say, that's a win.